Another thing that I really want to get out of the way now, and I normally won't speak on racial things at all, but I do not want people to look at black men specifically like this was our fault. Like, I'm just going to leave this up here so you guys can see that black men were the second highest supporters. White men, white women, and Latino men, however, yeah. And obviously I'm not going to speak on a community that's not mine, that's theirs, those are their problems, but I really do not want to hear black men slander about how we didn't turn out, how it's our fault. It's not our fault. The numbers show it. And I just need to get that out there because I've seen a lot of slander, especially about people that look like me, and I do not think that criticism is fair. I'm all for accountability, but we have to be fair in our doling of accountability. I think that graph is from a certain state that was important, but I can't remember which state. I think it was Pennsylvania, which was one of the battleground states. But either way, this is not black men's fault. Don't blame us.
You can feel the calm before the storm as the round begins.
A few minutes later.
All the black people voted for Trump have one major thing in common. No education. No higher education whatsoever. Not completed. And, education ain't everything, but it's a lot. Ask a black man why he's voting for Trump, and he gonna say something dumb like, he's helping the economy, but when you ask him to expand, that's the end of it. He's helping the economy. How? And they can't say nothing else. He just pulling. Ask one. Ask a local black man in your hometown why he's voting for Trump, and watch the bullshit that come out his mouth. What did 50 Cent say to Floyd Mayweather? Ask a black Trump supporter to read a page from a Harry Potter book. I dare you. And then come back to this post and tell me what the response is. Because they all have that one thing in common. I swear.
This is gonna be a match to remember.
I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Go ask white Republicans for help. Go ask Trump supporters to support your movement. Go ask Trump supporters to be on the front lines with you. Black Democrats, black liberals are done. We are going on vacation the next 4 years. We're going to enjoy ourselves in this mayhem, in this hellhole that we're in. We are done. I know the majority of the reason that Kamala lost the election. Some of it falls on her and her campaign, sure. Most of it falls on white people, specifically white women and Latino men. We know that. But those 20 million votes that didn't vote, some of them being protest votes, yeah, y'all getting this smoke too. Do not ask black people for anything. Stay out of our way. We will stay out of yours. Thank you and have a great day.
This battle is about to explode.
Yeah, so one demographic that voted heavily for Trump. You have several groups, but one demographic I want to talk about is black men. Yeah, black men. You remember how you were all riled up with George Floyd and the police? You remember Donald Trump's response and what he said to do with you? Okay, you remember Kyle Rittenhouse, the white dude who those people with the AK in the street when they were protesting? A police, the little boy, I think he was 17. And you remember what Donald Trump invited him to Mar-a-Lago or to the White House, wherever? Because he's a black man who was protesting the death of another man by police. That's what you all want. So you see, you all anytime a police stop you and put their knees in your neck or you in the back when you're running, because I want your family to come out and start rioting. Hey! 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 Y'all think you can come out and riot? And you love to burn down? Okay, come out. I'm waiting. I want them to unleash the military and the set the military and the police on you. That's what's gonna happen. And I can't blame him because that's what y'all said you wanted. And you say, I'm gonna vote for you because this is what I want. I want you to set the police on us. I want you to set the military on us. I want you to take away our rights to protest. And I want you to grant the police immunity so when they us and assault us, they cannot be charged or be held responsible. That's what I'm voting for Donald Trump. I'm a black man. And that's what I want you to do, Donald. That's what I want you to do. I'm a black man. I am a man. Yeah. That's what I want you to do. Take away my rights. Give the police immunity. So when they put their knee in my neck, they have the right to do it and they have no responsibility or nothing. My family will get no justice. My children will not know their dad. And they will not get no justice. Yes. 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 Oh, the thing could immune. Oh, the thing could immune from this police brutality. Huh? Wait for him. That is something to remember. Donald Trump promised on a black man. Ask about a Jamaican black man. We say we don't have vote for Kamala. Huh? I don't have a mother. So I don't think so the mother is good enough for raise, you know? I'm good enough to make decision and a whole pound of raised by a single mother household. Only pound of the black man. Raising a single mother household. Single mother for the father. They gone and left for no mother we don't know. And they raise about no good too. You understand me? I don't think that Kamala can make decisions for y'all's future. But y'all mother used to do it by herself without no father. Because you know a percentage of a black household will grow up without daddy in them household. Right? You know that. Uh-huh. So, baby, we waiting. Again, I'm mourning. I'm grieving. Still grieving. So it's going to be black all week.
Now, they came out with a sneaky surprise attack at the start of the round.
Exit polling data tells the story of what happened during this election. Look at this. This is coming from NBC News. I want you to look down there at Latino men. 54% for Donald Trump. Now, this is following that rally in Madison Square Garden. But also, look at black men. 78% went for Kamala Harris, but 20% for Donald Trump. Usually, Republicans score in the single digits. And finally, of course, white women. 52% for Donald Trump, and then you have 47% for Kamala Harris. Now, Donald Trump, according to Pew, received 53% of the vote from white women in 2020. So basically, he didn't lose hardly any white women, despite the Dobbs decision overturning Roe.
A beautiful example in the art of the combination attack.
Are you giving up already?
This message is for black women and black women only. Today, the entire country let us know where we stood. The entire country told us we were on our own. The entire country collectively told us. We are tired of the popular narrative, if you're in trouble, go find a black woman. No, we are in the front lines of so many marches and causes that have very little to do with us. That's got to stop. Over the next 4 years, we got to pour into each other and ourselves like we've been pouring into other people. We are constantly getting let down, beat down by everybody around us. That's got to stop. From now on, we literally need to mind our business. Don't ask us for nothing, because we're taking this moment to rest. Don't expect anything, because we're taking this moment to rest. Black women, we got to pour into ourselves, into our families, and other black women. I'll admit, I'm not completely surprised that this happened. The entire world has never held back on their dislike and disdain for black women. And as black women, we just continue to love and pour into the world anyway, even though they don't like us. Over the next 4 years, we've got to mind our business. We've got to start a business, start earning and saving. We have to start pouring into ourselves and each other, black women. And then we got to rest. We're going to rest.
Ready? It's not too late.
The way that black men are about to be the weakest link. Remember when it was 52% of white women voted for Trump? It's about to be black men. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is for black men not wanting a black woman in power. Black men talking about I don't want no black woman telling me what to do. Okay, but wasn't you raised by a black woman? Why are you scared of black women telling you what to do all of a sudden? Don't you live with your mama still? Oh, sorry, you live with your grandma. Don't your baby mom raise your kids? Don't your baby mom pay your bills? Don't your baby mom give you a car to drive? What's going on here? Don't you and your baby mom live with your mom? Talking about some black women can't run that. What are you talking about? Black women are historically the backbone of society.
Oh, God. We're cooked.
What do we just witness here, guys? You heard the young black man state that, hey, us black men, we came out to vote. We did this. We did what we were supposed to do. We even have the numbers, the stats, the actual facts in black and white to back up everything that we did. And I'm not trying to hear that black men did not help, did not support, did not do X, Y, and Z. And this is the second day, if not the umpteenth day, that I told you guys that no matter what it is that black men do, they are going to be footing the bill. They're going to be the ones to blame for everything. It's not going to be the white vote. It's not going to be the Arab vote. It's not going to be the Asian vote or the Latin vote. It is solely due to black men. Black men are the reason why the Democratic Party lost everything. Black men are the reason, the sole reason why it is that Kamala Harris is not the quote unquote first black female president. This is what's being reported. This is what is being stated. This is how the narrative is being spun. I want to note that this is an educated black woman. And like I said, kudos to you. You went to school, you're getting your degree or already have gotten your degree or maybe a few. You're pretty much up there in the earning bracket, the money bracket, so on. Self-supporting, self-sufficient, everything like that. But it's completely crazy to be so educated and to turn around and call other people that didn't vote like you uneducated. There are tons of Democrats that don't read any of the laws, rules, regulations that are passed or have been passed. Some people just vote off of emotion. They vote off of feel good. They vote off of how the candidate speaks and talks. They don't actually know anything political. They don't really know anything other than what mainstream media news is spitting directly off to them. They didn't do any research. They didn't do any digging. They're not talking to their mayor. They're not talking to a representative. They're not doing any of that. So what's the difference? What actually is the difference? And I like the fact of how she wanted to first generalize everybody before she wanted to get to her main point. She wanted to say all of those black people or all of those people that wanted to vote for Trump, yada. But let me be specific. The black men that voted for Trump, they're very uneducated. They don't even know how to read properly. Matter of fact, in order to prove this point, hand them a Harry Potter book and we can clearly see how ignorant and dumb they actually are. Yada, because I'm an educated black woman. I know how to read. I know how to do research. And I know that I voted for Kamala Harris for X, Y, and Z. If you decided to vote against the interest that I see beneficial to me, then you are ignorant and dumb. Black men. That's what I got from that. Again, this is clear-cut a perfect example of what black men are talking about when it is that black men are spoken to as a group. We are talked to as if we are children. We are browbeaten. We are called uneducated. We are called stupid. We're called everything negative directly under the sun. And again, you heard this from an educated, college-bound black woman. I would just like to say that it would be great if those out there who really want to blame black men for the reason why it is that their candidate lost would just specifically come out and state that. Don't generalize. Be very specific in what it is that you want to state. I hate when people don't want to go in depth and yada, yada, because again, you heard what he stated. He was like, hey, us Democrats, we're going to just enjoy our 4 years. We're going to step back and stand down. Don't ask us for any help and yada, yada. I want people to understand that when the Bush administration was in office, when Democrats ended up losing, guess what? Republicans were just doing the normal things that they always sit up there and do. They took the loss. They kept walking. For whatever reason, this election, people who voted Democrat, people who voted for Kamala Harris cannot seem to take a loss. They don't know how to take a loss. You're supposed to take your loss and just walk. That's it. This is what comes in when you play sports. This is what comes in when you bet on a certain team and they fail. This is what that looks like. I guess a lot of people aren't used to failure. I guess a lot of people aren't used to losing. This is an open stage. It was a large stage. You lost. It is what it is. Republicans have lost battles. Democrats have lost battles. Independents have lost battles. Everybody has lost battles. But I guess it's how you handle the loss, which determines the type of person you are at the end of the day. And I see a lot of people are acting like children. Craziest thing is listening to a woman who's not really from here go out and open up her social media and decide that she wants to specifically come at and condemn black men for the way that they voted. And I'm a little bit confused. Again, this is a whole nother woman from a whole different area deciding that she wants to speak on Black American men and how it is that they move, how it is that they voted. But again, the numbers are the numbers. It clearly shows that an overwhelming majority, more Black men voted for Kamala Harris than any other group. That's more than the Latino vote, more than the Arab vote, more than the Asians, more than whites. All of those men did not show up for Kamala Harris the way that Black men did. But even though Black men did what it is that they normally do when Black women vote Democrat, Black men vote Democrat as well, in some instances around the same rates, even with that, Black men in solidarity, even in numbers, they go off on a tangent and they're like, you know what? We lost, Trump won because Black men voted for him. You have to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me that you're going to say that Black men are the reason that Trump won and then Black men are the reason that Kamala lost. We got other demographics in the United States that she spoke to, but she was not able to reach out enough. She didn't gain enough of the white vote. She didn't gain enough of the Latin vote. She didn't gain enough of the Asian vote and the Arab vote. The Democratic Party did a horrible job at trying to get an outreach to everybody. So because they did a poor job on trying to outreach and talk and gather everybody to the Democratic Party, Black men are left to hold the blame for the reason why the Democrats lost. I'm a little bit confused. I'm so confused because it wasn't that long ago that Kamala just started running. She wasn't running for years. She was running for literally months. Literally running for months. Just got here. And this is what took place. This is what happened. So I'm a little bit confused. If a person just started a race where another person has already been running around in training for months and for years, going around from state to state, talking on social media, going to different sites and talking to different people, Trump literally went around the whole United States. And Kamala was clearly under the Biden administration. You had Biden as president. She was vice president, right? So during that time, was Kamala trying to campaign? Was she doing this? Was she doing that for years? No, she was following the commander in chief. So when the commander in chief is pretty much out, she has to step up and she also has to take his spot. And she's only a few months into this. What do you expect to happen when you're entering a race that already started and you're entering when it's pretty much at the end? You're going to lose. You're going to lose. But because for whatever reason, people act as though that Kamala was out here campaigning as long as Trump was. She wasn't. She wasn't. She didn't have all of that time. He won because he went to the people. He talked to the people. He gathered enough of the votes from every other nationality. He didn't just fixate on the Black community or Black. He focused on everybody, and those he didn't focus on, they just listened and paid attention and decided, hey, this is what we're going to vote for. But like I said before, the whole narrative is blame Black men whenever anything goes wrong in the United States. You can see it in 4K, 8K, whatever K that you got, you can clearly see it. I want to say something, and I want to say shout out to the Black women who are smart, who are knowledgeable. It doesn't matter if you're college educated or not. If you realize the fact by looking at the numbers that Black men did show up and you're not trying to push the blame or fit the blame on Black men, you just know it was a campaign issue. You just know that the Democratic Party didn't do enough outreach to gather enough votes. Thank you for having common sense. Thank you for not being emotional. Thank you for being the most logical out of the many that are out there spreading nonsense of trying to foot the bill and blame Black men for the reason that Kamala Harris is not president and for the reason that the Democratic Party is not in control or in power at this moment. So I know that she stated that this video is only for Black women. I'm still going to give my opinion because I noticed one key detail that she wanted to not admit to. She wanted to show the stats and she wanted to say that everybody around the world, the United States show the world right, that they don't care about black women. Everybody failed black women by not voting for and not putting Kamala Harris directly in the office of the White House. Who is everybody? I need you to, like I said, I need people to stop generalizing, be very specific on who it is that you're trying to blame. We know that you as a black woman, you're not going to go out there and blame white people. We know that you're not going to blame the white man. We know that you're not going to blame the Latins. We know that you're not going to blame the Asians. We know that you're not going to blame the Arabs. We know that you're not even going to blame other black women who voted differently than you. So that only pretty much leaves one group to really put the blame directly on. Again, this is another instance of an individual that does not want to be very specific when it deals with who it is that they are specifically trying to put the blame on and talk about at the same time, while doing so, also trying to quote unquote uplift black women and send out a positive message when it deals with black women. Again, this woman doesn't have the smoke for the black women that voted for Trump. You have vocal black women out here that are on TikTok, that are on IG, that are on YouTube, that are on X, that stated that, hey, Trump supporter, black woman, I voted for him. But she's not going to talk about them. She's not going to state that those black women failed black women. She's not going to say any of that because, again, there's no reason to have smoke for one of your sisters. There's always a reason for why it is that she voted otherwise, right? No type of animosity towards her. But specifically, when it deals with the one other group out there that always takes the brunt, that always takes the heat, there's always going to be room and reason as to getting on them, even though for a second time they showed up in full force, even with the numbers directly behind her. Like I said, it's crazy out here. This is clear-cut the reason why the Democratic Party lost the vote, or at least lost the vote when it dealt with the few black men that wanted to vote otherwise, or the black men that decided to sit out this election. That's because many of the representatives and the people who are voting Democrat don't know how to speak to or talk to black men. Black men have been disrespected. Black men have been belittled. Black men have been talked down. Black men have been everything negative. All the videos that I've been able to showcase, including some of the comments directly on Twitter, showcases the fact that people wish the utmost worst when it deals with black men that didn't vote and black men that voted for Trump. Never in my time have I ever witnessed such nonsense when it deals with voting. This is completely crazy. Too many people are very much unhinged, and a lot of people proving facts that they don't like to read information. They don't actually like the stats because, again, it's very difficult to try to blame and get mad at black men when overwhelmingly, again, black men showed out for Kamala Harris up to, in certain polls, when you look, up to the 80 percentile. 80%. So then you have the rest that either didn't vote or that decided to vote directly for Trump. And again, it's not a lot. But like I said before, somebody has to be the blame as to why it is that they lost. A lot of people are not going to look inwardly. A lot of people are not going to look at the campaign as a whole. A lot of people aren't going to measure the outreach that Kamala had versus the outreach that Trump had. People are not going to pay attention to any of these things because that would mean that they would have to take accountability. That means that they would have to actually look at and accept and acknowledge that, hey, my party failed because of X, Y, and Z. We should have did better. Instead of doing any of that internal reflection and looking at the party as a whole, it's just a lot easier to blame one person, or better yet, one group, aka black men, and have them foot the bill. It's crazy, but this is the world that we live in. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.